is up, everybody? Welcome to the Wingin It podcast. Andre, how you doing, man? Andre?
I'm about to say he's doing a great mannequin challenge.
I know, because he's killing it right now.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Please. Daggone internet decides it wants to be iffy once we start streaming for some reason.
Of course.
Of course. That's how it goes. All right. Jack, what about you? How you doing, man? We'll come back.
I'm good, man. Thoroughly enjoying myself playing Final Fantasy VII Remake. I did not expect to have as much fun as I'm having currently right now with the battle system and even paying attention to the story. I like how they're pacing it so far in the beginning. I think I'm on like chapter 7 or something like that. Okay. So I just got done beating the last little boss with Tifa, Cloud, and Barrett. So so we'll see. I've seen my boy Sephiroth every now and again, but he ain't on the squad yet. Which, from my understanding, that's he come and join us. But we'll see.
Yeah, they made some changes to the original story. Okay. Right now, I'm at the beginning because I did play a little bit today. I'm doing the side quest stuff at the beginning where I got to find them damn cats.
Yeah.
Let me fight stuff, man. I'm tired of them damn cats. But I played a little bit today myself. I did jump back on Perfect Dark.
Okay.
I forgot how much fun that is. And, the NSO mature thing, I get why they did it, but where's Conquer?
To me, this has to be like a licensing thing. It has to be because
y'all ain't using it, so just give it up. Microsoft, you're not using it, give it up.
Which I don't think they necessarily care. I think they're just like lining something up for it.
Yeah.
To me, I feel like they would much rather just sell it to you than put it on NSO.
I mean, they gave us Perfect Dark. Hey. They let us get Perfect Dark and Jet Force Gemini. Well, they're not gonna do nothing with Jet Force Gemini, which once again I don't understand why they wouldn't. But that was the perfect one they could have had. But that's neither here nor there. Also, if you guys saw the podcast yesterday, I was playing some Ocarina of Time, doing a little fishing, and we did we had a wild little test mode of testing games to see if the GameCube NSO controller worked, and surprisingly, it does. Now, for certain games, you probably need a little bit of tweaking, but hey, it is what it is. So, all right. So, real quick, what we're gonna do before we get into the question and answer thing for tonight, and we only got 2 questions that were posted, so we'll just play around with some stuff today. But there was a Yoshi trailer. We're going to get to that in a little bit. But real quick, just to give your overall thoughts on that developer direct from Thursday.
I mean, here's my thing. As just a presentation, I've always felt like, they should be doing it like Nintendo and Sony do it, right? Mm-hmm. Show us the games, call it a day. And if you want to do something a little bit more detailed, then, just kind of have like a direct specifically for that. So that way it's like, okay, we're sitting down and we're actually communicating with these developers opposed to this pre-recorded setup. But, nonetheless, it was cool. Out of the 4 games that were shown, I'm interested in 3. Unfortunately, I will have to wait until they either make their way to the Switch or just live vicariously through people on the internet because I'm not buying another console to play on. Forza's always been, like Horizon's always been a top-notch racer. It just looks even better. I don't know how they keep raising the bar with that doggone game. I don't get it. But then also, too, Fable looking top-notch. Hopefully, it continues to expand on what, 2 and 3 were continuing after 1, and then also with what is it? Oh, the Beast Reincarnation game.
Beast Reincarnation.
With Game Freak. Yeah, I mean, it looks good. It's in that we're in this era of that Souls-like platform. It's kind of reminiscent of when we were heavy in that World War first-person shooter nonsense for a minute.
Yeah.
And it's like each time we go through stages, because I think we're coming out of this. It's not completely gone, but we're coming out of the everybody trying to do a roguelike game.
Yeah.
And now everybody seems to trying to start getting ready to traverse into the soul. Granted, it's more in the future. I don't know too many Western developers or any that have tried to attempt this, but I'm pretty sure it's coming. So
Well,
outside of that, I mean,
yeah.
it was a direct for them. I wish this was a better story for them to say, you know what, this is at a good time for people to start showing more interest into Xbox, but in reality, it's not, and it showed with the release dates.
Yeah.
Every game that you saw, they emphasized like, yeah, it's coming to PlayStation as well. Even with her, Forza is not like a year-long thing. They said it's happening at the end of this year. So it is what it is, but kudos to their third-party side.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I'll say. I'm in the same boat as you. They did ask Game Freak, was Beast of Reincarnation coming to Switch 2?
Mhm.
They played coy.
Yeah,
I'm guessing it is, but not this year. It's probably gonna come
right.
next year.
Yeah.
Which, hey, it is what it is. At this point, and I can understand that because probably Microsoft probably funded them the money for it.
Yeah, I'm about to say,
More than
I
likely.
would imagine like trying to figure out whose IP it would be, because it may
Yeah,
not be Game Freak's call.
yeah. So, and like I said, that game looks like it's gonna be fun. I agree. I think we're getting out, but I also think we're getting out of Souls like too. We're getting out of both of them, Souls
Yeah,
like
yeah,
and
yeah.
Rogue like, because we're seeing a lot more. It's going back to side scrollers. People are enjoying the retro style of stuff. Like that's
Mhm.
why we're probably going to start. If anything, we're probably going to stop seeing a lot of these open world everything, 100+
Mhm.
hour everything. That's going to stop. Because one, you're not making money like that, especially if you refuse to put it on every platform. If
Correct.
you're a
Yeah.
third party, and you refuse to put it on every platform, how are you making money?
Correct. Yeah.
The other problem with that too is people be saying like, "Oh well, exclusives don't matter." Actually, they do, because that tells you, okay, I can only play it this place, so I have to buy this system to get
Mhm.
it. I understand why Microsoft's doing what they're doing, because they ain't never really cared to begin with, and plus they got money like that. They don't
Yeah.
have to have. They don't have to have that.
No.
Nintendo's lifeblood is
Gaming.
their IPs
Yeah.
and their game. You're not going to see Legend of Zelda on a Sony system. I'm sorry, you're just not going to see it.
No.
Because, and on top of that, would that fan base even play it? No. Now they
No.
say they will.
No.
I don't see them doing that. Because Nintendo's going to Nintendo. They're going to do their art style. You're not going to get ultra realism. They're not going to do that.
No.
And the way they do cinematic storytelling is different from everybody else. They
Mhm.
just do it different. And a lot of people don't. So there's some people that don't like it. I personally don't have a problem with it. You can see by Metroid Prime 4, I'm loving that story, but you
Mhm.
got some people that don't understand it because they don't want to.
Yeah.
They think it should be constant talking, and they should be less. It should be 60% cinematics and 10%
Yeah.
gaming for some of that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that doesn't even compute, man.
They want to watch. They want to
Yeah.
watch instead of play sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm of that thought process at least.
Okay.
But overall, I thought it was good. I think they did what they had to do. I know everybody got their steps in.
You got to get them cinematic shots, man.
Got to get them cinematic shots of them walking into an office.
Yeah.
I just want to see. I want one person to just look down at their Apple Watch and just click. Yeah, I got my steps in today before they start. I just wanted to say just one time. Like, yep, and that was 10,000. All right, so that's what. I mean, because they always got to do that. I'm like, dude, why y'all doing that?
Hey, they got to get their point across, but hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. All right, so this morning we got a trailer for the Super Mario Galaxy movie.
Yeah.
Now, this they had a direct. I hate they call these directs because they're really not directs.
No.
But we got a direct for it. So I'm not showing the direct because the direct is only 5 minutes, and we're just gonna watch the movie trailer. So let's do that. Area Super Mario World.
Oh, you're here.
Now, where's the troubled pipe?
Like, bro, chill out. You're making it worse.
Got a Firefly electric gun.
That'd be so dope if the next Mario game, the power-ups do these type of transitions. That'd be so dope. Because right now you grab the fire flower and it's just like, hey, I'm in a suit. I'm like, okay.
You're not the scared guy anymore. Yes, I am. People don't change.
I love Charlie Day.
There's the problem.
It's great the fact that he sounds like that.
Hey. It's all right.
This gonna play in that cute factor.
Who is this?
Yoshi.
Come on.
So some dinosaur just shows up and he's now part of the group. Cool.
Okay,
so many questions, man. So many questions.
Yeah. So that was the Yoshi trailer. Now, I found that to be fun. If you watch the direct, they pretty much say like, yeah, we had to show this because people were complaining about not seeing Yoshi in the first trailer that they ran. So yeah, you got a Yoshi trailer. They also showed Mario and Luigi's babies, which means something's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm about to say that was my thing. Like, what happened?
Yeah, so we're gonna see that, I guess. And I like the transition. I like what it looks like. I'm looking forward to this. I do find it odd that they are releasing this on April 1st.
I felt like when we were doing the podcast last night, we looked up the date and I could have sworn it said the 3rd when we looked at it. And then now it's saying the 1st. I'm like, did it change or was it always that and we just looked at it wrong?
I'm guessing it changed because most of those release dates are subject to change, to be honest. So, I mean, a lot of times when they do have like a date, it's usually a placeholder anyway until the closer you get to release. And April 1st is on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
So, and if I'm not mistaken, I think in 2023 it released on a Wednesday when it was initially supposed to release on a Friday. Gotcha. But they moved it up. So I'm thinking that's what they did this time too. So I mean, we shall see. Personally, I'm gonna be in there day one.
Oh yeah,
I enjoyed the first one, so I expect the laughs to be on point. I just find it odd that they have not showed Donkey Kong at all. So, but everybody's supposed to came back, which would include Seth Rogen. So
yeah, that's why I was like, if they haven't shown him, then either we're gonna get another one to where it does introduce him to kind of like be a cameo to kind of tie into his movie eventually, or he's just not here.
Yeah, and that could be the case. He might just not be here. So
yeah,
because I did hear a rumor that they were thinking of doing a Donkey Kong movie after Legend of Zelda.
Right.
But just using the assets from what they got, which would make sense. I mean, you already got the assets. You already know what he looks like art style wise, so you won't have to. You won't have to worry about that too much. You just have to worry about and you already put Diddy and Dixie. They were in the first one. So they were there, so you don't really have to do a lot of extra work. I would say.
No, the groundwork's already there.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. I like the way Yoshi looks. I like the way,
Mhm.
and Birdo is apparently evil, so that's gonna be interesting. So yeah, we shall see. I'm looking forward to it. I hope we get another Peaches remix with Ed Sheeran and Jodeci. But,
Really? The most random pairing. Ed Sheeran and Jodeci.
I would have did it. I would have did it. Jack Black can pull that off, man.
I mean, he
Jack
can pull
Black,
off a lot.
Yeah, Jack Black can pull that off. Like
Yeah.
had it playing during the credits. Everybody lose their mind, boy. Don't have a post credit scene, just have a post music scene.
Yeah. Get everybody in like it's a concert.
Yeah.
But the one thing we were talking about last night was the possibilities of this movie, or the things we were looking forward to possibly seeing. And I was like, if we're going to jump straight to Galaxy, that means they're going to be going to different planets, different universes. Mm-hmm. So this may be a way for them to do a lot of cameos. Now, whether they're quick cameos or if they're like detailed cameos is a little different. But this is kind of like getting into that idea of Smash, if you will, because that's one game we haven't seen we didn't see in the first movie, and we haven't seen, at least from the trailers, in this movie. We haven't seen Smash at all. So if they're going to like different worlds and different galaxies, it wouldn't surprise me if, and this is what I was saying last night, if either we just like Mario and Luigi fall into a real world scenario similar to Sonic, and they just see a green tunic in the distance, or they actually cast somebody to be like a real life Mario and fall into that world because the movie's getting ready to come up next year, and you can just kind of play on it a little bit.
That would be interesting. I don't know. If it was me, I wouldn't even touch that, just because that's gonna cause some issues. Because there are a lot of people who actually did want to see at least an anime of Legend of Zelda, especially after that Link versus Pit fight in the Wii U trailer thing that they did. I wouldn't even play like that. Especially,
hey man, yeah, you doing a movie, go all out. Like I said, your fan base they're gonna be salty regardless.
But yeah, well, they're gonna be salty regardless. But like I said, for me personally, I wouldn't play like that, just because that I don't need any negative press going into anything. So, and we already know, like, people gonna be loud and wrong.
Oh yeah, so that's the new thing to do.
What's up, Shadow?
Not much, gentlemen.
You did catch the Yoshi trailer this morning, right?
Yes, I did.
Any thoughts on it?
No, it's just, it's what I expect, and I think, this movie's gonna do really well.
Yeah,
that much I will ascertain. I think it's gonna do really well. They know how to capture an audience, a massive audience at that, young and old. And they know how to do the cues where, hey, here's some of the trivia for some of you, legacy fans to see. Here's some of the, what do you call those, Easter eggs, I guess, like in the background, that kind of stuff. And then for all the newcomers, hey, here's this cuddly green thing, and you're gonna love him just like you love Mario. And that's it. They know what to do.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised at all in what I saw. And I think they did a really good job as far as the animation and the characteristics of bringing that character to life, and the existing characters too. Seeing Luigi be Luigi, and I'm guessing at this point we're gonna eventually see Rosalina a little bit more, but just seeing Peach in there too, like it looks like this is just gonna be basically everything on steroids that the first movie was, and I'm all for that. So I'm pretty sure most people are too.
I think that's going to be the final trailer, because basically the reason why they did this trailer was so people could be quiet about Yoshi.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, because they teased him at the end of the first movie, and it's just kind of like, okay, well he's in it, so and
he's in it, so shut up. So
yeah,
and yes, we didn't make him talk. He's just gonna say Yoshi. So we got Vin Diesel to come back and do that. I'm playing.
I just don't like. I'm pretty sure y'all talked about this already, but it's just so weird because it's a Super Mario Galaxy movie, right? So it's supposed to be about the galaxy, but you're also doing Odyssey stuff and Super Mario Bros.
Yeah.
3 stuff and
Yeah.
Super Mario
Well,
World stuff.
That's basically what the first one was. Like the first
Yeah.
one, like they it's hard to write. It's hard to do a Mario Brothers story because of the simple fact that, let's be honest, like Mario's all over the place.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and there's
Like,
no point in trying to make anything canon because
Yeah.
all the movies, all the games blend together. So you might as well.
Yeah, so I at this point I'm like, bro, trying to make sense out of that. I would love the people that love to make canon timelines try to figure out Mario. Then
Yeah, it's not.
Good
it's
luck.
not.
good
You know,
luck.
there's an Italian plumber from New York eating mushrooms and
Uh-huh.
apparently flowers now and scraping them, and he's able to get all these abilities only in this other world. But then he got them on Earth too, fighting Bowser at the end of the first one. So
Well,
I
he
don't,
did touch the star. He did touch
Yeah.
the superstar. So that's
and it worked. Like
It
so,
worked.
I don't.
Man, just go with it.
Hey, that's it. That's all you can
That's
do.
basically, but that's how the games are. Man, just
Mhm.
go with it. Why does he have a squirrel suit? Just go with it. Why is he in a beach? Just go with it. Why is he in a spring? Why is the spring coil wrapped around? Just go with it, dude. Just go with it.
I was thinking he's in New York City. What is happening right now? Why is he able to do what he's able to do in New York? And I'm like,
Mhm.
no, it's New Donk City.
Just do not.
There you go.
Yeah,
Just
that's
go with it. Just go with it. All right. Stop asking too much. Why is there a dinosaur? Why is there a T-Rex running down the street? Man, will you just go with it? Why did he throw his cap on a taxi cab and I man, go with it.
The movies are the only time we're actually going to see the Mario Brothers at home.
Yeah.
They're never in they are in Mushroom Kingdom and Mushroom World all the time.
Yeah.
Yep.
They're never going to be back home. So yeah, that's the closest we got was Mario is missing. That's the closest you gonna get to
Yeah.
Unless they actually do a Luigi's Mansion movie, and
yeah,
that's
close you're gonna get.
That's probably
Yeah.
what you're gonna get, and that's it for real. So it is what it is. All right, so we did have a couple of questions. So first one we have from Knight WF764. Have you guys noticed a lot of Nintendo hate channels disappeared or they removed videos when they were bashing Nintendo? Yes.
Yeah.
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 But then it's not new to me because I did a 3.5 hour long podcast where I went through and found all the IGN videos that they scrubbed.
Yeah, they scrubbed,
and all the articles that they scrubbed as well and edited. Every last one of them where they were bashing the hell out of Wii U, they got rid of those. And they retold them in a way like they got all their new editors to rewrite parts of the articles. It's strange. It's just strange to see. Which is crazy because they used the same narratives to bash Wii U to bash Switch before it took off. And they had to retroactively change all of that stuff once it took off and they couldn't change anything.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised to see, the grifters or whatever trying to like disappear. The only one that's doubling down, I think, is what Nintendo. I just commented on somebody talking about that. Yeah, he's just gonna ride it into the ground because so here's the thing, right? If you think about it business wise, right, there has to be a pro and there has to be an against. So
Correct.
Even if the against is losing, you stay there because there's going to be people that feel bad that the anti people were wrong. And you need somebody to follow still if you still have those anti-Nintendo sentiments.
Right.
So it makes sense if you double down that you still will collect the audience that will come back again, even after you're proven horribly wrong. So it's just one of those things where if you stick with it, it's a good investment over time. It sounds gross to say, but
plus rent got to get paid. So
yeah, we're in a post-truth world anyway, so it just kind of doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, because as long as the truth sounds better. The last bit sounds better than the truth.
Yeah.
So as long as you can get that type of engagement, is one thing though. You got to stay on that horse. Like you got to stay on it because you cannot switch up because now you got both sides against you.
And I think that's the other thing too. Like as long as you, and I'm real bad about this, but as long as you continue producing content, it won't matter. So like you can kind of like. You can gloss over the fact that you were wrong and go on to the next hate video. As long as you continue producing, they'll keep coming.
Right.
So I don't see it as an L for the dedicated hater. It's an L for the people that were chasing the grift that weren't as successful.
Correct. Yeah.
So the people that were just like, hey, ooh, the hate train is good, and they try to throw a couple of videos at it to see if they take off. Those people were, they're holding the L and they're going to switch.
Yeah.
So
it's I've never understood that either, because you can't. That's not sustainable. It never has been sustainable.
No,
just never has. I mean, you can try. I mean, even IGN that wasn't making them money.
No, they had to switch up eventually.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why, like, remember when me and you went at Brian Altano and he kept trying to act like he didn't know what we was talking about?
Interesting. Like,
yeah,
you just need time. You just need time.
Yeah. That's when we found out everything got scrubbed, though. Like the next week, that's when all that stuff got scrubbed. I'm like, wait a minute, where are all these videos just magically disappear? I think the only ones that were still up was the MVC stuff.
Yeah, and you had to hunt for those podcasts too, because they were like, they took them down off the RSS feed, so you had to go to the IGN page, and they changed the page link, so you had to go and find the article to find the.
Disgusting.
When you got to do all that, you got to do all that, like, bruh. Because everybody, like, you should remember, they were one of the main ones trying to be like, they need to go third party, they need to go third party, they need to go third party, and I'm like, dude. This system is horrible. They need to go third party. Nobody want to play this. They want to play games on other systems. I'm like, then why y'all keep begging to have these games on your platform of choice? Like, why? It never made any sense. And then when Switch took off and they couldn't bash it into the ground, they were like, this needs to come to Switch. Like, no, it wasn't made for that. Like we were talking about yesterday. Like, I like Xenoblade Chronicles X, but let's be real. It's better on the Wii U.
Yeah.
It just is.
Yeah.
Like, I like Wonderful 101. It's better on the Wii U. It's not better on the Switch. It's not.
Yep. There you go.
I mean,
I do like the extra content in Xenoblade Chronicles X, but Frontier Nav is not. It's not the same. It doesn't work the same, and you're doing way more work. Like I felt like I was speed running the game. And I shouldn't have to feel like that because I want to catch up and do certain things when I had fun just wandering around with the Wii U gamepad because it was always there whenever you're going and exploring somewhere. I didn't have that same type of, I don't know, I didn't have that same experience playing through the second time.
And if I wanted to, I could grab my Pro Controller, put my gamepad to the side, and just work the gamepad. And dude, it wasn't hard. But once again, you had them bashing it so much so to the point where they were begging for games to be ported over. They're still begging for Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. But I'm like, if the second they come over, if the people that played it on Wii U, I'm not going to want to play it on that. Why? Because guess what? I don't want to have to keep hitting plus to keep having to go back and forth between the map when I didn't have to originally.
Right. Yep.
But if you listen to everybody else, you'd swear that the game sucked if it was on there. Like that to me just, but I had to go back. It was game trailers, it was IGN, it was a bunch of other ones that was basically saying, hey, we're going to do our best to damn this console out the gate. And that's why Sakurai did what he did. That's why he that's why he went straight up, start doing directs. And then once he started doing it, everybody started seeing the Sony Microsoft started seeing how much money they saving. Like, hold on. You mean we ain't got to do this $15 million E3?
Right.
No, you ain't got to do that. You really don't. But I will give them props. So if they never did that, then we would have never got the Rex. So
true.
I'll give them props for them being as arrogant as they were. If they didn't do that, Iwata would have never went forward with the Rex, I don't think.
The only thing I don't like about it though is they're not being held accountable and they're not saying the things that need to be said. Like, hey, Nintendo made these direct things popular and now other studios are doing it. Like even PC developers are doing it. Mm-hmm. So when you got like, studios that don't even produce content for consoles making their own kind of like, hey, here's our stuff coming out, blah, 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 like kind of situation. That clearly means that they set a trend or a standard in the industry that way, to get stuff like that happening. I have to say that now because industry standards are ratified, and standards in the industry are things that happen more than once. But yeah, so like when they don't talk about those things, they don't talk about hate. Like one of the things Player S has kind of pointed this out with the whole Christopher Dream drama going on right now is that, so you talk about, hey, the Switch 2 is hurting right now year over year compared to Switch, even though you're comparing month 9 to month 6 of two completely different platforms and launches a completely different scenario, and Christmas doesn't matter at all for both of those platforms, and everybody jumped on them when the console came out. Right. So it's like, why are you even making that comparison? Number one, you're like, oh, well, it's bad for, December for this console and November for this console, November for this console. And I'm like, what were the sales for Switch in September? Because Switch 1 sales for September would have been month 6 for Switch. So compare those to Switch 2 in December and see where you're at. Correct. We know what the answer is for that because we know Switch didn't sell 1 million consoles in September. They didn't. The majority of the Switch consoles sold when it first came out, and it sold anywhere between, I think, 600,000 for the rest of the year. In the US, it sold like 600,000 for the rest of the year in the US. So to get to around 4 million or something like that. And Switch was already at 3.5 million within the first 2 months in the US. So like, obviously Switch 2 sold better in the US than it did for Switch. And what you're trying to do is say that the console sold worse year over year for that particular month, and it's not a direct comparison from month 1 through 6 for both platforms. And my thing is, if you're going to say that, also say what is happening for the other time periods as well. Yeah. Line, and you're not doing that. And the other thing is, you're not comparing what the year over year is for the other consoles either. You're not saying that, hey, Xbox is down like damn near 60% year over year, and PlayStation is down 30-something% too. Also, PlayStation stock dropped as well. Like, you keep saying these things. You say all the talking points that are bad about Nintendo, but they also apply to all the other platforms. November was the worst console sales for every platform since 1995, but somehow it was all on Nintendo's back.
Well, like, I don't think you can't do that because we live in a different time frame. The tariff situation is real, so you can't sit there and be like, "Oh man, we're comparing this to back in 2017." That doesn't make sense because in 2017 you weren't dealing with tariffs like this. You just weren't. So you weren't dealing with a chip shortage. You weren't dealing with none of that. So there are other factors that you can't put in. So that's why I'm like, don't even do it. Don't even play that game. But if your rent due,
so
if the mortgage due, if the rent due, I get it.
Like, just look at some of the factors, right? You got at some retailers, the PlayStation 5 was reduced to prices lower than the Switch 2.
Yeah.
Right. So you got a $400 PS5 that's available during the holidays as a major sales advantage, right? And it's an established platform versus a brand new console that, for the most part, all the people that wanted to get one got one in June or at the latest August, right? And if they're getting one, they're getting a second one for Christmas because, hey, they love the console, so they're buying it for loved ones or whatever. Or the parents that are finally catching on to it, they're deciding to get it for their kids during Christmas or whatnot. But even then, it wasn't happening in November. It was happening the first week of December, which we found out anyway because it sold over 1 million, in the US during that time frame. So they're like, "Whoa, what November is so bad?" And I'm like, traditionally, yeah, people were buying stuff in November because consoles launched in November, getting ready for December, and if they were already established console, the price drops happened in November. So you're not even making that connection. You just loosely say the holidays are supposed to be the test for Switch 2 without noticing that, hey, there's no price drops. There's no sales really. There's no extra bundles other than it was already available back in June when it came out. Like,
right.
You're not. Also, we didn't see this article for Switch when it came out either. Like, why were the sales so low in November for Switch, and it's supposed to be the best-selling console? You weren't doing that then because you were too butthurt that it sold well back in March.
Yeah.
So you just stopped reporting on Switch altogether.
Yeah.
Because the jig is up. All right. Dark Void does have a question. Well, he has a couple of them. First one is, let's see, which Switch 2 game which Switch 2 games deserve the Switch 2 upgrade? He thinks The Witcher 3 and the Doom games, probably Wolfenstein.
Something Microsoft, really.
I would say as far as like the Switch 2 upgrade, I would probably say like the Switch first party ones like Princess Peach. We already got Kirby.
Mm-hmm.
Those ones. If we're talking about third parties, Witcher 3 more than likely, but to be fair to me, Mortal Kombat 1.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat 1. Hell,
it should have got
11.
it. Yeah, it should have got that for sure.
Yeah.
So that definitive edition should have been that.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they didn't.
Yeah, that to me, Mortal Kombat. You know, once again, I don't think NetherRealm is totally at fault for that. I think that was more of a Warner Brothers decision, but still, to me, it should have been Mortal Kombat. I do think at some point Nintendo's exclusives probably will. Personally, I think Doom the Dark Ages should be on its way over. Honestly, because Dark Ages is not a bad game. It's actually pretty fun. So I think Dark Ages is probably on its way over at some point. But yeah, if I was thinking maybe Witcher 3, just because if you're gonna do it at Skyrim, you might as well do it at Witcher 3.
Yeah,
you might
as well.
If that's what you're gonna do, you might as well just go on and do it because they did do Skyrim, and for the 80 billionth time, they about bad as damn Last of Us.
I mean, but at that point, I feel like they should just go ahead and do a Witcher collection then. Just do Witcher 1 and 2, and then do Witcher 3 or whatever. Switch
not
to
before
editions.
Metroid Prime.
Yeah, well,
not before Metroid Prime.
Retro gonna do what they want to do. So
pretty much.
Yeah,
I think they're taking their time on that one. So we'll see.
Even though it really doesn't need it per se, I would love to see Pokken Tournament get some love for Switch 2 enhanced. So whether you're adding more Pokemon to the fray, or you're adding like some extra modes, because honestly I don't think there's a sequel in sight for that game.
No,
they don't even sound like they're interested in doing a sequel.
Especially with Haradagon. With Haradagon, that ain't happening. Not unless somebody on the team just be like, "No, we're gonna do this."
Like a passion project or something. Yeah.
But the only thing that made me mad about Pokken Tournament was that stupid story mode they had that was just basically long for no reason.
Yeah.
That was it. But other than that, Stone Cold Stunning people with Pikachu Libre will never get old.
Yeah.
That's the only move I want to do. I want to stun you.
Pikachu having moves.
Stunner.
As far as third party is concerned, now granted, they have a Switch 2 version already, but it needs to be fixed, and that's 2 Point Museum. So they keep hinting at the fact that they are entertaining or possibly entertaining the thought of adding mouse mode to it, but they just kind of went quiet. And everybody was like, well, that was a missed opportunity, like a really missed opportunity. And then also they need to optimize it a little better too. But other than that, I mean, it's a great game all in all. And, there's some slowdowns when things get a little heavy, especially when you start getting into like 5 stars for your museum. But mouse mode was a heavy miss. So I think that's something they can go back and add. But outside of that, I mean, I don't look at too many third-party games from Switch per se and say like, okay, they need to switch to, because honestly, some of these third parties are not doing a good job. Like they're cleaning it up, but they're not doing much else.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
The other question he has is, do you think YouTube needs to have like a community though, like Twitter has? While it can cut down on misinformation, I don't think it will, because it's like a Wikipedia thing where people can put their own thing to it, and that's the problem. That's the problem with that.
Yep.
Because I've seen a couple community notes where it was straight up wrong.
Yeah, and the source will be wrong. And they have a source, but it's just wrong.
Yeah, so would it be nice? Yeah, if it was actually factual, but the problem is once you start letting people be the ones to update it, it turns to a Wikipedia problem. Where if somebody hates, they can go in and just put whatever they want to update it, and if nobody comes behind them and change it, it doesn't get changed.
To this day, I try to update the stats for the specifications that I've confirmed for we use GPU. They get taken down every time. Every time. No source, no nothing to debunk what I put up, and I put a source up every time for the actual manual for the GPU is online. It's been leaked a long time ago. So the Latte GPU is up there, and it tells you about the wavefronts, how everything's set up and all that. So you know what generation of GPU it is. I put that information up there with the link to the source on there, and they take it down with no comment.
Yeah, so that's the problem that you run into with stuff like that. And to be fair, I don't even like that just because I know like Musk and his team does that stuff too. If they don't like something, they'll change it.
Yep.
So and they've been caught doing that a couple of times. And since it's his platform, can't nobody really say nothing. So
yeah, I think that's also just the key thing, because even though we advocate for Miiverse return, in all honesty, it's just going to take a group of people to stay on top of it and just have a location where people can actually go and share that information and talk about games. And then, like I said, most people try to utilize stuff like Reddit a little bit, but once again, it's hard to keep people out that shouldn't even be there, in a sense of truly gatekeeping. Like, I'm not gonna sit down and have a conversation with somebody about a game they don't have and or have never played. Like, that just doesn't make any sense.
I've never understood that. Like, and I'm talking about we'll die on that hill. I've never played this, and I ain't got to play it to know I hate it. Like,
that's wild to me. That's wild, man. Well, I'm looking at YouTube, so I can tell the frame rate's bad. What?
No, you can't. Like,
what?
Because especially with, look, I use YouTube a lot, but YouTube has a lot of degradation on it.
Oh yeah,
like,
YouTube
so
ruins a lot of stuff for sure.
You kind of have to play the game in the highest performance. So if your game, if you can play it in 4K, you kind of have to do that just to make it look good in 1080.
Yep.
Yeah,
I think
it's kind of sad.
I think the biggest example of that is what the anti-Nintendo grifters were doing when they saw the YouTube footage of Cyberpunk on Switch 2 and how they were regurgitating all that. Look how bad it looks. So then CD Projekt Red just said, we'll just put all the raw videos on our page. And people started downloading them and looking at them. They're like, oh, this ain't bad at all.
Yeah.
What? It looks like this. So even if I upscale my monitor to 2K or whatever, and I look at it 1440p on here, oh, it looks this clean? Okay.
You have to like basically if you're gonna put it on YouTube, you can't do it live.
No, you can't.
Yeah, you'd have to do it as a video and then upload it. That's why, like, most time when I did my boss battles video for like Metroid Prime, I did it when I put it through in YouTube. I bumped it up to 4K just so it'll show good in its actual. Because if I didn't, it wasn't going. The degradation just bad on YouTube. It's kind of like below what you actually put it in. So if you put it in 1080, it's probably only going to show like it's in 720.
Yep. So what I do the same thing. So I will record something in 4K, and then so once it's sampled by YouTube or whatever, and somebody watches it in 1080p, they get to see the full 1080p because it was recorded in 4K. So that's kind of the gist there. So
yeah, they compress the hell out of your stuff. I mean, it's the same thing we do with our audio. Like, they compress the hell out the audio.
Yeah.
So we try to upload with WAV files instead of uploading with MP3s because it's already compressed with MP3.
And then they double compress.
Double compress it, and it just sounds awful because Facebook is bad. Like, when we go and upload, it was like, oh, it's a new song. Everybody's like, why does it sound like that? I'm like, Facebook don't compress the hell out of it. I don't know what else to tell you.
And that's why people stopped using Facebook for gaming, because it was getting bad. Like, and I think they were doing it to try to like relieve stress on their servers, but I'm like, bro, you're killing the stuff that you're trying to promote. So it ain't working. Twitter asked how about the impossible Final Fantasy VII remake port. I'm like, dude, like, Shadow, you were the one that said when it came out on PS4 it could have came. Yeah.
It could have came. So here's the thing, and people keep arguing me about this. This could have came to Switch at the time had they made the effort. Obviously, you're dealing with file size, you're dealing with memory bandwidth and stuff like that. But what you do is you rewrite the game for 720p, and it's fine, right? Oh well, it couldn't do this, it couldn't do that, it couldn't do this, blah blah blah. I'm like, Switch has its own register for certain things, and if you're writing the game for 720p, it's overkill for that. So whatever physics you got going on, or whatever other things you got going on in the game, or whatever, all that stuff can be adjusted over time. And if you just want to be cheap about it, delete NPCs or whatever other kind of stuff you want to do in the background to get things stable until you figure out what you want to do to make the game work in 720p for that platform.
Right.
Obviously, when you go to Switch 2 and that system is, I don't know, anywhere between 4 to 12 times more powerful, depending on what you're doing in the game, it can definitely be done.
Yeah.
So, and now we're seeing like PS5 ports being there, and they're like, "Oh, well, that's a PS4. It looks like a I'm like, no, Integrate is never released for the PS4.
No,
this is a PS5 and PC game that is on Switch 2 right now."
Because they wanted people to buy the PS5, so they refused to put it on PS4, even though people like this can play on the PS4 Pro.
Yeah,
they refused to do it because they wanted people to buy the PS5. I remember because I'm sitting up here like I have Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm like, all y'all did was add DLC. That's literally what they did, but that's what it was. And I'm sitting there like, okay, it is what it is. I laughed because I thought it was funny. But that's why now you're getting Rebirth and the third one, and you're getting Final Fantasy 16 all coming to Switch too.
I'll just say
they got to do it because Square got to make money. They're trying to make money.
I'll say right. So Final Fantasy VII Remake is a containerized type scenario. It at some points in the game it breaks up and then you get into semi-open world, right? You got whole ass Breath of the Wild, whole ass Tears of the Kingdom, which is effectively Breath of the Wild times 3, right? In 900p docked on the Switch, right? All these physics and all these other things happening. You containerize that and put it in a smaller game and higher asset quality or what. I don't want to even say higher quality. It's just textures that look more realistic to you, right? Right. And that's definitely possible on that same platform. Obviously at a lower resolution, so you're talking like 900p max, maybe 1080p if you work around with it in 30 frames per second or whatever. But every Switch is not the same because now you got to account for a Switch Lite and stuff like that. So you got to build from the lowest common denominator. So it makes sense that they said, you know what, let's just go ahead and do it on Switch 2 because we don't have to worry about any weird whatever kind of stuff. And because we don't want some guy out there that's only playing on the Switch Lite and the game is not looking too good. So I understand that choice, but it's like it was possible. It's just they got different SKUs now, so they can't just say, oh well, if you play on dock, then you get this better experience or whatever that's dedicated for playing in HD on your TV. When the majority, well, I won't say the majority, but there's a big populace that are playing on the go on the original Switch, and it's not going to look as good in handheld mode there because you want your battery to last for longer than 30 minutes. So,
let's see, Sony.
like those are some of the things. Like the Switch is a powerful device for when it came out at the time, and people wanted to like downplay that and all that. I'm like, you show me the hardware and the portable PCs in 2017 that were doing what they were doing. Like it took the iPhone to undo that SoC a year later. So and Apple's $1 trillion company. So like it took that to undo that SoC. So I don't know what else you want me to tell you at that point. Like Nintendo they got a good deal at the time.
Yeah.
And it worked for them. So
yeah.
We do have a question from in the Discord from 8Ball 1970. He asked, when do you think the 2 terabyte express micro SD cards will roll out and how much will they cost? Any plans for either 2K Sports or EA releasing college hoops for all platforms later this year? All right, so the first question, I would think because they didn't really show them at CES this year, but was kind of hinted. I'm thinking probably spring or summer.
Yeah.
It's probably when you're going to see the 2 terabyte ones. And I'm thinking the reason why they're going to do that is because they want to make sure they can manufacture enough. Because right now, if you try to put them out now, it's only going to be a certain limited amount. And then on top of that, you don't know when you're going to be able to run a second run through. So it's probably going to be If I was just making an educated guess, probably spring or summer. So I
Yeah.
wouldn't even think about looking for it until like May or June at the earliest, I would think. As far as the 2K thing, man, I don't know. It's EA. I don't know. I'm waiting for the EA anonymous senior developer to say it sucks. So I'm waiting for that.
So here's the interesting part about the sports aspect, right? So Madden did fairly well. Madden was sitting number one on the eShop for quite a while.
Yep.
Because it, even though at launch people still had their issues with it, and I was also upset that it wasn't 60 because you would like those high speed games to run very smooth, but it is a very playable thing, like 30 to 40.
Mhm.
It kind of fluctuates, but it's very playable. Now when you look at the flip side of like 2K, that's not playable. Like even my son, he loves 2K and he forces himself to play the Switch 2K when he's here, but he has it, on his PlayStation 5 at his mom's house. But he's like, Dad, it's almost impossible to time these shots. And I was like, yeah, I know, because let's say 2K wants you to like measure, like, okay, the release point's at the top of your head.
Yep.
You have to let it go as you're coming up before it registers that it's at the top of his head. And it's never consistent, and forget even going online, because online in itself is already inconsistent. So now you add that on top of it, it's a hot mess. But I will say, for college football, Madden, we got WWE 2K, MLB The Show, and an NBA 2K. Like, they all are very doable. Like, they showed us that WWE 2K25 runs smooth. That's a solid 60 game. And it looks amazing. It's on par with PlayStation 5 and Xbox. So it can be done. It's just the difference between all of them is a Nintendo in-house company did the port for that one.
Yep.
And the other ones had their own developers do it. So I don't know if you just say, all right, cool, Shiver, you do all the sports games, or if you like talk to Shiver and figure it out. But ultimately, there was no excuse for Madden or NBA 2K to run like they ran.
You know what the irony is? The irony is the lead Madden developer now, Tiburon, used to be a Nintendo only developer for the old school Maddens back then.
Yeah.
That's what's so funny about it. Like they should just come back home.
Yeah.
And they, Nintendo should just be the lead platform from here on out.
I said it yesterday on the live stream. EA, Ubisoft, Activision, they were too big to not have their own dedicated teams to certain to each of them. These 200 people, y'all work Nintendo. These 200 people, y'all work Sony. These 200 people, y'all work Microsoft. Why? Because that way you give them dev kits, they already know what they got to do.
Yeah.
But here's the crazy part. That was a thing. Going from the fourth through the sixth generation, that was a thing.
Yeah. That's how you did it.
It just stopped at some point.
Yeah. Shadowfox, you got a question?
I guess the first thing it's funny. One of the guys in the chat mentioned that Switch is still listed at 8th generation on Wikipedia.
Yeah.
If you go to the 9th generation page and scroll down, Switch is listed there too.
Yeah.
So
they don't know what they want to do.
They don't know what they want to do. They haven't figured it out. So it is what it is. Do I think Nintendo or the company who does their game cards, who would be at this point it would be Macronix. Lapis did the original cards we see right now, the 64 gig cards. Will release a 128 or 256 GB, and do you think the forever physical crowd will be happy? The forever physical crowd won't be happy because they're anti-Nintendo.
Yeah,
it's nothing about I want physical forever, because these same people are totally okay with buying key cards for PlayStation 5 and Xbox.
Correct.
And I told people when I first saw it on my Series X, they have key card listed on there when you go in that Microsoft shop, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So
it's like all those people that had no problem buying Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
they had no problem buying 2K, and then or Call of Duty at that point was literally just a CD key. Like they had no problems with that.
They had no problem buying Final Fantasy 16 or 7.
But I have the
Wait.
full game on disc. Okay, let's
No, they
see you.
don't.
Let's see you do it without internet on your platform. Go,
Yeah.
go ahead, stick that disc in there, see what happens. See what it
See
tells
if it
you.
see what it tells you. Yeah, because like, well, what are you gonna do when they shut down server? What are you gonna do?
Exactly.
Because you just bought nothing.
We shop still up right now. I
Yeah.
can re-download all my old games right now on my Wii U through Wii Virtual Console. I can go and re-download arcade games now. Wii U arcade games now. Wii arcade games now. So, and obviously that means I can re-download Wii U games and in 3DS as well. So, and that's, you know, we're talking about going back on almost 20 years. In November, it'll be 20 years.
It'll be 20, yeah.
So, I mean, obviously the games are going to be there at least that long if they're still supporting Wii at this point. So, the Forever Physical crowd will not be happy. I have some slight, how can I say this, positive thinking with regards to them having 128 gigs coming forward. I think it's going to be probably like an exclusive deal for like Microsoft and specifically Activision. So they can do their Call of Duty games and stuff like that, and they'll probably charge a premium. I will say this: if you're going to get these physical carts, be ready to pony up.
Oh,
don't be mad. Don't be mad when Call of Duty there's a Nintendo tax on it. So when it's $70 for PlayStation 5 and it's 80 or 90 for the Switch 2, you want physical. You want physical, and it requires, you know, a 128 gig card. Like, you got to pony up. So how bad do you want it? Kind of situation. So I don't think the Forever Physical crowd will be happy about that either, because the whole goal is they want parity across the board, regardless of how much the cost difference is for both Macronix and Nintendo.
Well,
and the third party.
And once again, the problem goes back to like, you can't demand stuff and then not want to buy it, not want to pay for it when it happens. Because I'm like, yeah, personally, I think they should have 256 cards for certain people. Like we saw with Call of Duty. Call of Duty, what, 318 gigs for that whole game?
Something like that, yeah.
Like, yeah, okay, 128 for Final Fantasy 7, fine, but you're gonna have to pay $80 or $90 for it.
Yeah,
well, that's not fair. Yeah, it is.
Do you want to play the
game or not?
Do you want to take that cartridge and put it in a Switch 2 that's never been online at all and be able to play through that whole game?
All right,
then you pay that money.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to tell you.
And don't get mad about it because you want this.
Yep.
So, and that's the other part that people don't want to. People, that's why, and I've said it before, that's why I hate the idea of free-to-play games, because they're not free.
No, they're not.
Like, you wind up paying stuff on the back end, because when I would just rather just put the 59 or the 60 or the 70 on there and I'll just buy it. Like, that's one thing I did like about Killer Instinct when they did it in 2013. They gave you the option. If you want to pretend like it's free-to-play, fine. But if you guys want to play this, it's
With
59.
Yep.
For the whole thing.
I didn't want to be nickel and dime, so I just bought it all.
I just bought it. So But I hate the idea of, because people now really do think, oh, well, did you see what 2KXO is? That means they can make all these fighting games free. No, they can't. They still got to get paid. Those people that made that game, the artists, the developers, the people that does the background music, they got mouths to feed too. They got bills to pay too.
Yep.
If games were made for free, your game would be on eShop right now.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
Yeah.
So you know, ask yourself why your game isn't on eShop.
Yeah.
And then
so I hate that, but you got people that's they see something and then they go with it, and it becomes their identity, and that's what they're going down that hill for. And I'm just like, bro, this is not what you think it is, man. I understand free to play. I just don't like the hypocrisy behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I get it too, right? So for certain games, Warframe, Fortnite, there's an audience for that, right?
There's an audience for it, yeah. But don't act like you ain't got to spend no money. Don't act like that. You're going to spend something. They're going to make you spend something. You're going to spend something because it takes too long to do it via in-game. They do it on purpose.
They do it on purpose, yeah.
Yeah. It just takes too long.
Now, some people do it right because apparently I've heard good things. I need to go ahead and play this game. I haven't installed and I haven't started yet. But Art Raiders is apparently you don't have to buy any of that optional stuff. You can unlock everything in game that you need.
Interesting.
So
Yeah, but how long? Because that's the other
Yeah.
part that people don't say. Because like, remember with Battlefield 2, like, yeah, you could have got Ray, but it was gonna take you 400 hours.
yeah,
And that's what the part that people didn't understand until they found that out. When they found that out, Disney had to come in and be like, yeah, y'all not doing that no more.
yeah. So I guess the conversation I was having was basically you had to go to a certain place to start farming for stuff. And if people go online with you, they'll help you farm so you can kind of like get the things that you need. But that's more of a community thing. That's not necessarily guaranteed.
Yeah, it ain't guaranteed. Because like I play Warframe, I still have trouble finding people to tag up with.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So because if people been playing it since the game came out in 2013. If people have been keeping up, they ain't finna try to like do man. They don't want to do that. And which is completely understandable. Completely understandable. But I get it. But you may get lucky and find somebody that does want to, that don't mind it. But most times you find people like, hey man, I need somebody to play because I'm trying to do this hyper thing that we got to do over here, and I ain't got time to get you up to speed. I just don't.
Yeah,
and I get it.
And it's
I completely get it.
So
yeah, I can't even get mad about that. I mean, it is what it is. But that's one thing I hate about free to play games is like the hypocrisy behind it. Like people try to act like they didn't have to buy nothing. Like, yes, you did.
Yeah,
because they're done like that on purpose.
Yeah, the goal is, they want money, right? Like that's the whole goal, and it's got to be profitable for the investors that invested in the game. Unless it actually is truly a crowd project, there's going to be a money making scheme behind it in some way, shape, or form. They ain't do all this for nothing.
Yeah, I mean, you look at like two fine examples I think about. Now, one's not a free to play, but the other one is. So Fortnite, no one wants to remain in like the regular get up that they have, especially default. When they throw your favorite anime character at you or they throw your favorite superstar at you. Like no one wants to do that. But then also you look at from the 2K side. 2K side is worse because you go online, even if let's say you spent all the VC you've earned on your attributes, show up in there with that brown shirt and them sweats.
Oh yeah,
and watch how people walk away from you. They're gonna walk away from you. They're not gonna play with you. They don't care what your rating is. The fact that you're not swagged out, they just won't play with you.
Because they just immediately think that all your stats are low. You haven't really been playing the game like that, and you don't have a reputation to be able to play on the court because they got the pickup courts and whatnot, and they don't want to play with you. I mean, just like regular ball too. If you look at somebody you think they can't hoop, like you can't ride with my team. you ain't got next, bro. You don't your next don't count.
Yeah, but as far as like that, the cartridge sizes, I feel like we've beat this dead horse into the ground. Even if let's say 128 and 256 show up, who are using it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like
I promise you, Activision ain't gonna use it.
No.
And they're the company that can afford it because Microsoft is in their pocket.
Yeah.
So,
but they're not gonna use it, and their game's still gonna be 300 gigs.
Yep.
Yeah, because I mean, it'll be nice to have everything, but this idea of ownership is gone. If you are not playing, was it 7th generation down?
Yeah, you don't own the game no more.
You don't own nothing. Like
to be fair, you didn't own it then. You really did.
It was a license.
It was a license. You just had a physical copy because we didn't have it. We had it, and it just wasn't like that.
Well, the only difference, the reason why I say the 7th, there are some games I've bought on my PS3 that I know, like when I put it in there after it installs because it's a PS3, I can play it. There's no like online component that I have to go to where now everything has like an online component to it, to where your game is pretty much dull if you don't have it. So that's where we are. So unfortunately, Call of Duty or Activision is not going to put an entire game on a cartridge. That's going to cost because you're going to be paying for $100+ game, which most people that play Call of Duty don't mind because they get the bigger bundle anyway. But that's neither here nor there. So it's I don't know, like it's cool, and everybody and almost every content creator will lead you to believe that is the issue. That's why we have key cards. No, it's not. It's not. It's once again Nintendo trying to tell you, here's the issue we're facing. This is a way for us to fix it. Listen to us, and you don't want to hear it.
Third parties want to go full digital. That's the truth. And
Yeah.
nobody wants to acknowledge that fact. Like they've already put it out there. Look how quick Microsoft was willing to jump to $80 games. They're like, hey, we were gonna put all our first party games are gonna be $80 at the end of 2025. They got that backlash, and they're like, oh, our games ain't like Mario Kart. Nintendo could stand on this. They could stand on business. We can't.
Well, the other thing too is like, let's just look at stuff in general. You buy a new computer, does that thing come with a drive?
No.
You buy a new car, you get a new car circa, let's just say, I ain't gonna say new. Let's just say you get a car circa 2015. They have a CD player in it?
No.
They gone.
Dude.
It's all digital now.
Yeah, if you want that, they're gonna charge you, they're gonna overcharge you to put it in there.
Now to be fair, my car, different kind of model of car or whatever. It had the 6-disc changer and all that kind of stuff in it, but it was they don't make those no more.
They don't make them no more. No, they don't. Like because when I got I got my Equinox in 2017. It didn't have that in there. And if I wanted it, they were gonna put it in there, but I was gonna have to pay an extra $2,000.
Which is stupid.
I'm not doing that. I hooked it up to my phone and I'm good to go.
Yep.
To play my music straight from there. So we're coming to that point anyway with all of it. I mean, yeah, do I have DVDs? Yeah, but I ain't got nowhere to put them. So yeah, I go between, just like with my gaming on Nintendo, I go between, I got half physical, half digital. It is what it is.
I don't have remote start on my car anymore because 3G is gone.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Like, they just took it away. Like that. This is a thing I was supposed to have forever, the life of the car or whatever, right? Because of a contract they originally signed, and they just changed the contract and said all the towers are coming down.
Yeah, because if you ain't know, and it's about to be that way for LTE, 4G LTE. It's about to be.
Yep.
Because they're trying to do 6G sometime this year, I think.
Wow.
And mine was before they started charging you, so other people had to get refund checks because they were subscribing to get that type of service in their car. So they were getting refund checks when the 3G towers went down because they had subscribed for a whole year. So they had to. It's a whole thing, man. And they're just like, yeah, we're going to take it away.
They're just 4G and up now. Every tower you see now is 4G LTE and up.
Yep.
And like I said, they're about to get rid of 4G LTEs because they're about to go to 6 and 7, I think.
That's crazy.
I think that's a country that's actually. I think there's a couple countries in Europe that's already on 6G.
Yeah,
that's disgusting.
Yeah, so I mean, it is what it is. I'm like, stuff evolves, man. I'm like, it's just it is what it is. And once again, you never really owned the game. You owned the license to play it. You never really owned the DVD. You owned a license to play it. That's why if they ever want to come after you for selling your DVD to your cousin or your friend, they could have.
Yeah,
if they wanted to, because you're not supposed to do it.
There's just not enough money in it for them, so they don't.
There you go. Yeah.
So, but like if you sit up there and you ripped it and put it on Pirate Bay, yeah, they gonna get you.
Oh yeah, they gonna get you.
So it is what it is. Like that's just. And I hate the game preservation people because they lying through their teeth. So
what are you preserving? They're like, oh, well, Nintendo games, blah, blah, blah. Like, what are you preserving that Nintendo doesn't already have a copy of? Like, they got a whole museum now. What are we? They have emulators in their museum. How do you think they got those emulators? They got it from the community. You sure? Because they hired the guy that created the emulation ROMs and the emulators. So, what?
It's their emulator. Yeah, it's not. Nah, bro. Like, you can't talk to ignorant people, though.
You really can't.
Nintendo think about this company. This company held on to controller parts for the NES so they could resell you the NES Classic. They used that to empty extra stock they had from a console they haven't made in 40 years.
That and the SNES. Both of them. Yeah.
So you think they don't have the raw files for the game they made for those platforms and they have the actual hardware still?
Did it so much to the fact that people wanted Sega to do it for each one of their consoles. They wanted Sega to do Genesis, Saturn, CD, and Dreamcast minis. And I'm like, Sega, like, we ain't doing that.
I'll just say it again. Nintendo doesn't respond to anybody. They set the standards for the industry all the time.
There you go.
All the time. They don't respond to anybody. They're oh my god, they're not getting with the times. No, they are the times.
They are the times. There you go.
Like, and it's always been like that. So I don't get where
Goodness.
that ever came from, to be honest.
It's just funny to me. I like you name one thing that Nintendo decided to chase and follow that they didn't already try to do before.
Correct.
I'll wait.
Like, most people always try to follow them. So what happened with PlayStation Move and Connect, which I thought they would have did good if they would have actually stuck with it, but like it's kind of like it's kind of like what I said about. I know some people got mad about me for saying I enjoyed the Vita, but I did. I'm like, if
I think
Sony
everybody did for the most part.
If Sony would have stuck with it, they would have been able to do something. But once again, they let all of their first party stuff go, which still boggles my mind why they did that.
I don't understand that. Were they just internally? Were they just not seeing the sales that they wanted? Like what was going on?
Couldn't have been the play. That couldn't have been the case. That could not have been the case. My thinking is they listened to either analysts or some saying that, hey, we can go in this cinematic route and that'll make us catch up with Microsoft because we're an electric conglomerate. They didn't have Microsoft money. We're an electric conglomerate and we can hang with them, and we can brand ourselves as not being kiddie. We can brand ourselves as being hardcore. And that's where the whole hardcore and casual came from, because the Wii was beating both of their asses, and they was HD. They're supposedly HD. So notice I said supposedly HD.
The now HD twins.
Yeah, because now we're getting all these remasters. Because remember, all those games were supposed to be in 1080, 60 frames a second back then. Now we getting all these remasters that are really 1080, 60 frames a second. But you said it was back then.
Yep.
So
hold up.
Somebody lying?
The PlayStation 3 was promised to provide two simultaneous 1080p 60 frame per second streams. You were supposed to be able to play Gran Turismo on one TV, then have a second TV as like a panorama so you can have everything going, and have your PSP as a third screen, as a review mirror. That's what it was supposed to drive originally.
Right.
Those are the prototypes that they put up in 2005. If you don't believe me, go back and check it again. That's what they were promising.
Because that's when they had the Batarang controller.
Yep. That did not happen.
Yeah. So that was a lie. So it's 17. So 17 you were lied to. You were lied to 7th and 8th gen. You were lied to. And the only company that told you the truth, you said they lied.
Yep. Every game was 480p, and they were working just fine on Wii. They were working just fine. Overkill for 480p, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. So and 60. You know, since everybody know every game need to be in 60 frames a second, it was. But y'all didn't believe that. So
yeah.
Because it wasn't 540. I mean, 17. I mean, 16. I mean,
but 540 upscaled to 1080i looks great to me, guys. And I'm like, okay, all right,
whatever. So yeah, it is what it is. Before we call it a night, there is one thing I know Jack we want to talk about now, that Ubisoft situation with and once again, I'll say this about Ubisoft. I feel for the people that lost their jobs for them closing those branches. But the problem was I saw the writing on the wall years ago.
Oh yeah,
they kept trying to push this like live service stuff, and they're in the same boat to me as Capcom. They have so many IPs that they own, and they don't even attempt to use any of them outside of their what is it? The Division, the Tom Clancy Division, and Splinter. Well, they kind of act like they abandoned Splinter Cell until the anime came out. And because right now people are happy about Beyond Good and Evil 2, and I'm gonna tell you like this: that is the same issue that we're having with some of these other games that take too long to come out. Because that game don't even look like the original. Or what,
not even
what the
close.
original was. So I don't even know what they're doing with it. And it is what it is.
Just think about some easy money right now. Like was it 5 or 6 years ago? The NFL was renegotiating their contract. They could have done NFL Fever.
Yeah.
They could have done that. That was one of the things they could have gotten into, to quote unquote spend money instead of, throwing it away on these online only type games or whatever in those type of scenarios, they could have thrown into that and had guaranteed money coming back because the NFL franchise is going to get number one. It's a Madden competitor.
Yeah.
People were looking for that anyway, so you just throw that out there and people
or you
will
can
try.
or you can just make it arcade and make it different.
Yep.
So you don't have to worry about that. I mean, I'm sitting up here looking at what was the game? Like they have Rayman. They haven't put a Rayman out since what, 2015?
Yep.
Something like that.
They started the Watch Dogs franchise and just said, "Yep,
Yep, the hell with it."
You said, yep, that exists.
And, what else did they have? Like, I'm just sitting there trying to think, and I'm like, they pretty much did this to themselves.
I'm looking right now. They did Call of Juarez. That was critically acclaimed.
Red Steel. Red Steel 1 and 2.
Yep.
Like, bro, I would have brought that franchise back, put that mug straight on Nintendo.
I don't know how much the second game sold, but the first game sold over 1 million copies, like within like a couple of months.
And the second game did well because it was a better game.
It was a better game.
A way better game. Yeah. And I love that cell shade that they had to it. It actually worked. But yeah, I mean, they're
just like Just Dance guys. Just Dance. That's all we got right now.
And that's
and you have to, which I don't understand how that makes money when you have to spend all that money out. For all the licenses. So I don't get how that works. But once again, I'm kind of sitting up here like, yeah, y'all did this to yourself. So to me, the writing was on the wall. So
yeah,
I feel bad, but at the same time, I'm like, they put all their eggs in their basket with this live service mess, and it's one of those situations where, look, the IT infrastructure around the world ain't built for that yet.
No.
It just ain't. Like, no matter what somebody would try to have you and trying to force it ain't working. Because guess what? A lot of companies have had to fold because of that mess. Because they was trying to do that. I'm like, look at Concord.
Yep.
400 million.
And that's with Sony money.
Yeah. Didn't last 2 weeks.
That's just sad, man. I was actually looking forward to Concord. I was looking forward to it. I was like, I was looking at the characters and stuff, and I'm like, oh, this actually looks kind of interesting. And I'm like, why? Like, why? You just gonna give up? Like, I don't.
Because they spent too much money. They spent too much, and it's not like when they spent that, what was it, $300 million on Spider-Man? Spider-Man is Spider-Man. You can still. It's not the same.
Even if it's an L, right, on Spider-Man, it's still like that's a big, massive franchise that you just hold the L on that. And eventually it will make you money.
But Concord, nobody knew what that was.
No.
So once again, I think, and this is a industry-wide issue, is one, this constant praising of these live service games, knowing that they're costing money. You don't know if you're going to get your return. Two, like, I know people try to have their big, huge, grand visions, but if that's your first game, you need to dial it back, bro.
Yep.
Nobody know you like that.
Well, we've been working on it for 12 years. Okay, like, you need to prove a concept. You need to develop a small game first, so you get your
name out there, man. Don't sit up there like if you're trying to make a live open world like Breath of the Wild, and that's your first doggone game, like, and nobody knows who you are. Why would I buy your game? I don't know that. I don't know you.
For the chat, right? I'll say this to make things as simple as possible, and maybe we can cut this as a short or something like that, right? Live service games were the original AI of the gaming industry. Everybody jumped on. Everybody thought it was going to be good. It was a bubble and it burst.
Yeah.
The same thing's going to happen with AI too. So just watch and learn.
Yeah, but as far as Ubisoft, like, they had a lot of great games, right? You know, even going back and playing some of these older games, you see their title come across the screen and you're like, oh, I didn't even know y'all played a role in this game. You know, for me, I always felt like, yes, there was some fatigue when it came to Prince of Persia at some point in time, but then making that switch to Assassin's Creed, depending on if you like it or not, was either a good or a bad switch, or if they need to keep both. I really don't know, but ultimately, you're now in a position to where you had some beloved franchises, and at some point you ran them into the ground.
Yep.
And they had to come out and say, you know what, we have to start taking breaks, because I don't know if it was, hey, we're just going to make sure we keep striking while the iron's hot, or what, but there was no breathing room in between a lot of these games. And unfortunately, this is where they put themselves, like you said, whether it was trying to go live service or just overdoing it. It's where it is. And I mean, the crew was a great idea.
That was their
Like,
live service game. They should have.
It's a great idea. It's just it wasn't. I guess it just didn't execute well because the Crew Motorsport is a great game. Like, it's a really, really good game. It's just, once again, I don't know. I don't know any racing live service games that work.
Well, I don't know if you guys covered this or not already because because of minutes I missed earlier in the podcast. But did you guys see Forza Horizon 6? So there's no opportunity. Yeah. There's no opportunity for the crew to come back ever again now. No. If you're dealing with something like that now, and then every other year there's a real Forza in between, like, nah, man.
The other thing
it's done now. It's sealed.
The other thing too is like Forza is a name.
Mm-hmm.
They've earned it. Like Gran Turismo, whether you love it or hate it, they've earned it.
Yeah.
Like, you can't come in here with trying to do what they doing, thinking you're gonna compete with that. You're not. Because people already know they got brand recognition, just like Mario Kart. Mario Kart has brand recognition. People can sit up and cap and say all day they hated Mario Kart World. They still playing it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, this game is horrible. You will never be able to meet the heights that Sonic Crossroads have met.
Then why
y'all still on it? Oh man, Kirby Air Riders just makes Mario Kart. You don't even need to play Mario Kart no more. Then why you still on it?
I'm friends with some of those people, and then I look and I saw that they were playing Sonic's Crossworlds, and I looked and I saw they were playing it for 10 hours.
Yep. And then they put it down.
Yep.
It went right back to Mario Kart, didn't it?
Because the thing is, like, people like to use the excuse of nostalgia, right? It's like, you do know you have to be successful for nostalgia to kick in. Like, if Mario Kart was bad, no one would care if Nintendo was releasing a Mario Kart. But it's not bad. Everybody copies the freaking formula of Mario Kart. That's the reason why a lot of people like Sonic, because it's still in that traditional sense of what kart racing was. Mm-hmm. Nintendo decided to go a different route, and then Kirby went a different route. Now, whether Nintendo stays here or not, that's up in the air. But ultimately, they established and they said, "Hey, we've mastered the formula, so now it's time to go do something different." To where Sega's trying to still figure it out.
I think this is part of Nintendo's investment in 2005 to Monolith. So I think they're going to really do this with just about every franchise they can. They're going to open world all of them. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but once they did it with Zelda and they saw it take off, it was only a matter of time. I'm like, they're going to do this. But Monolith is going to co-develop just about every major franchise from here on out. And you saw what they did with Odyssey. So
yeah, I don't think they're going to do it the way they're going to do open world, but they're going to do it their way. They're not going to do it the way.
Oh yeah, they always
everybody does it. Because like if they do it the way everybody does it, they're not going to make money.
No.
Yeah. So Mario Kart obviously is done. Mario Kart World is done the way that they wanted to do it. They're already halfway there with Metroid Prime 4. So I only see a matter of time they're going to do all their franchises like that. So you'll probably see an open world Kid Icarus game that way as well. I just see it coming.
All of them.
Star Fox definitely. Yeah. They're on their way to Star Fox. They're literally making. They're building. They're building the infrastructure to make it happen. So I see it coming.
Star Fox is going to be very interesting, just for the simple fact that people get weird about that particular franchise. Because the way people talk about it, you would swear that thing was a $15 million seller.
Yeah, that's not.
Until you actually started playing it, you realize ain't nobody playing it.
And that game's like 2 hours long, but it's meant for
playability. Yeah. Like you're not meant to be playing this 40 hours. So
correct. Yeah.
I don't know how that would work. I would like to see them go back to do like different styles of Star Fox, like Adventures on Dinosaur Planet, like where you actually get out of the actual R-Wing, but also still have have space missions. I can see them doing that. You know what? I would actually let Ubisoft do it. again.
I mean,
this time, like actually, you can't. Don't let them make like repeated, because the reason why that game wasn't fun was because it was the same mission over and over again.
Yep.
So it got boring real quick. So if you take that out and just be like, okay, make them actually make a game. Let's see them do it. Like, I didn't mind Star Fox Zero on Wii U. I know a lot of people tried to pretend like it sucked. It didn't. But like the problem was, and I will agree on. I will give this caveat. The problem with the Wii U version was they put so much time into making sure that there was so many different control types, and they didn't do it on that one, which I think they should have. They should have had an option where you didn't use the gamepad, you use the Pro Controller, just for people that didn't want to use it, because they did it for every other game.
They definitely did with ARMS, because I didn't think they were going to do it, and then they end up doing it with ARMS.
Yeah, they give the issue was they gave people all these different options, and with that one, they just like Platinum just said, no, you're not gonna get another option. You're gonna play this way. And I'm like, that's what made people. That's what I think made people upset, because you don't tell me what to do type situation.
Yeah,
and and when you actually take time to play it, like that first level does a very good job of getting you acclimated.
Yeah,
it wasn't hard. You just had to pay attention to what you were doing.
I mean, coming from Star Fox Command, it wasn't that big of a deal to me. Like the whole point of playing the game is learning how to play it. Isn't that the whole point of you're walking through the game to learn everything about the game, right? So
that's why they went to this click.
I will never understand this comment that I got from somebody talking about we need standard controllers. What is standard controller?
What is a standard controller?
What is a standard controller? Like, dude, that whatever system you're playing on, they tell you what the controls are. What do you mean standard controls? That doesn't make sense. But that's back when everybody was claiming everything was industry standard. That wasn't. Like that's not a standard, dude. That's just yeah.
ESRB. That's the only industry standard. It's the only one that's ratified. You get a rating for a game. That's it.
That's
Congrats.
it. That's it.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, it is what it is on that.
But yeah, I don't know. Like that's sad to see, and it's only going to get worse. They can't seem to get out of their own way. I don't know, but I mean the one thing
they have nobody to blame but themselves.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. It's just you hate to see one of the top third-party developers get ready to go. Like they're on their way out the door, man. And
I hate it too, because they at one point in time they were making money off of licensed games.
Yeah.
So they were doing like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games and stuff like that. They did the Brothers in Arms series. Like it was a bunch of games that they were doing at the time, and I just don't understand where the fallout was there. I was kind of trolling on Twitter, but I think that was probably the beginning of the end. Was when the Rayman Legends things happened. When you have your lead creative director protesting with the other junior developers in the studio because you wanted to do something for money. That was the beginning.
First of all, don't lie on me. First of all, don't lie on me, because that's what that was too. Like they straight up lied.
And for people not following, Rayman Legends was a Wii U exclusive, right?
Yep.
And then right around the time the game was getting ready to release, like the summer before the game was getting ready to release, they delayed it. Then said it was coming in the fall for 2 other platforms. They intentionally delayed the game. The publisher told them to delay the game and hold it to release for other platforms. Basically, what ended up happening behind the scenes was it was either Sony or Microsoft started strong arming Ubisoft's publishing arm and saying, "Hey, we'll let you release it elsewhere because you're not going to get that much money off your Wii U version. So we'll let you release it for our platforms, but it's got to be this way or else."
Yeah.
So they put that down, and then so now you got people that worked on this game specifically for the Wii U version. They want people to see their work. And now they know it's going to be overlooked because it's going to launch for all these other platforms.
Yep.
So they were pissed about it, and they literally protested. So that was a whole thing. And that's not the only game. It was what Cars. It was another game that promised to be, and a Wii U version never appeared.
Never.
Yeah, I think Toby Fox was probably the only person that actually came through. He did. What was it? Not Toby Fox. The guy that did Axiom Verge, whoever that was, Trap, I think it was, whatever his name is, I forgot. Yeah. But he actually came through and made a Wii U version of that game, and I love it. Continuous map, no matter what you're doing. So I love that, and that should have been every indie game should have been on Wii U for that reason.
Yep.
Steam World Dig was amazing.
Yep.
Yeah. But so you had it was what it was, and like because the Rayman thing was the thing that just because I didn't know that was going on until Ubisoft lied. Ubisoft straight up lied, and I'm like, Yeeves, like, what the hell is going on, bro? Like, why you let this happen? Like, you said this game was a Wii U exclusive, so that's the first time I realized, oh, Sony is telling people not to do stuff.
Yeah,
that's the first time. That's why that's why I started laughing every time we heard Jim Ryan talk. I'm like, bro, you're digging your hole.
Yep,
you're digging your hole because if you telling them to watch Microsoft, they just start looking at you, and that's exactly what happened. And then all of a sudden, a whole bunch of Namco Bandai games just started dropping everywhere. I'm talking about dirty port releases like that. And I'm sitting up here like, wait a minute, I played Tales of Symphonia on PS3. It's the same issues that was there. And then it took a patch 8 months later for them to fix
it. then magically after that, especially after all these damn court documents are coming out. Now all Persona games are coming to Nintendo platform. Interesting. I wonder what the holdup was there.
Yeah. Because I have never heard of a exclusivity deal that lasted console generations. I've heard of them lasting a year. I've heard of them that's at the max. I've never heard of them lasting 2 console generations. So anybody was saying that, oh, you got to look at what Sony did. They was wrong. I'm like, you got to look at what Sony did too. They wrong too.
Yeah.
So you can't sit there. I've never heard of a exclusivity deal lasting 2 generations. I just didn't. Now the stuff with like because people, I was the one first trying to bring up. Well, what about Wonderful 101? That was Nintendo letting Platinum sell that game.
That was the second part of the game. Yeah. Nintendo published it.
Nintendo published it. And guess what? It still plays better on the what?
Wii U.
All right, then. So, like, even the people that play, like, man, this game ain't fun. I wonder why.
It's not playing as it was intended to be played.
Yeah. So, it is what it is. That's why I was like, I found that funny that everybody that was defending Sony and during that whole thing with Activision, I'm like, y'all do know Sony was doing just as much wrong stuff too, right?
So a long time ago on the Shadowcast, this is before Jesus. I think we're probably still doing G Plus stuff back then. But I made this statement declaratively then, and I'm like, hey, everybody says dev this, dev that. Developers have no power. It's the publishers that are talking to investors to get these games greenlit, and they make the decisions because they talk to management, and the managers tell these developers what's going to happen and what's not going to happen. So you could talk to your favorite, developer or whatever. A lot of the times it's not the developer anyway. It's usually the manager of the development company that's making these public statements because developers are too busy programming games. They don't have time to interface and talk to people. So if you hear from somebody, it's either the publisher or it's the manager of the development studio. And never is a developer going to sit here and say, well, we didn't want to program for this platform, so that's why we're not doing. No, they want their game everywhere because they want to make as much money as possible. They want as many people. They're proud of their game. They want as many people as possible to play their game. So if they don't have time to code for whatever platform or whatever, they ask for more time. And the publisher's like, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
And that's it. Even if they want to do it, they can't. And a lot of times you have work that they want to do for another platform. They're working on that platform in the case of Rayman Legends or whatever. And they're like, hey, recode this game from scratch for PS3. Do it now. What? We're about to launch. We're going gold. Nintendo approved our. Nope, you're going to hold it. It's the publisher. I said that a long time ago. So, and now we're seeing the fruits of that. Well, we're seeing in court documents, definitely that's exactly what's happening. So now you got first parties talking to third party publishers and saying this will happen or else, or this is what we need, or else, and vice versa. So yeah, man, it was never your favorite developer that tweeted one time. They have no say in any of this. JP Kellums kind of said that stuff way back then too, when they were talking about the whole the Bayonetta situation.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, they got mad at Kamiya for that, and I'm like, Kamiya, we went to Sony and Microsoft first.
Yeah.
They
said no.
Like Nintendo was the only one that came through. You wouldn't be playing it if it wasn't for Nintendo. Period.
Yeah.
Sega was still trying to finalize a deal with Sammy then at the time. So there was no, they didn't have money to spend. All their assets were frozen. So they couldn't publish anything if they wanted to.
Yep.
Yeah. So it is what it is.
Amazing. But all in all, man, I mean, I agree with everything y'all just said. And one thing that always baffled me too with Ubi was, we all know most developers have their go-to IP. Like, hey, this is the IP I can rely on, and the fans love it, and so we're going to rely on it. Rayman disappeared. It's almost like it didn't do well, but it did well.
Yep.
Yeah. But it did well on the Wii U. It didn't do well on the other ones.
But even with the re-releases, though, like even with the re-releases of like Rayman Legends and even the Origins games, right? Yeah. They did really, really well. Now, granted, they were not the 3D Rayman, because we haven't gotten a 3D Rayman in a while. It's still the franchise that most people are like, what's going on, dude? Like, why have we not seen this game in so long?
Yep.
And then now you're teasing of like, oh, there may be another Rayman. Don't play like that. Like,
don't even play like that.
Just go ahead and do what you got to do.
Yeah.
So I'm looking. Go ahead.
I never understood how Child of Light never got a sequel.
That was a wonderful game.
And then they let Michael Ansel go. So
go play Child of Light. Who it's on every platform now, I believe. I think it's on phones now too. Go play Child of Light. It's really good. Yeah. The one thing I was gonna say was Ubisoft really kind of had no excuse, because they still had an exclusive deal with the Tom Clancy franchise as well.
That too, yeah.
So you can make any game that you want
from that book series.
And
there's a lot of books in that series.
I'm looking now. You got Ghost Recon, so you can make your online game out of Ghost Recon if you want to, or you could just make a shooter. Rainbow Six, that entire franchise, there you got different types of Rainbow Six you could play.
That's the one I thought they was gonna do that with. That's how I was like, dude, just make that your SOCOM.
They started the Division to be their online whatever thing or whatever, and they didn't do it, so they should have fell back to Splinter Cell. Or you got the other parts of Ghost Recon. You had the Ghost Recon Predator. You had some of the other movie book stuff, like with some All Fears is kind of bad, but you could kind of like look at any of the Tom Clancy books that you could have done. Political was one of them. You could have done anything. Hawks.
Anything with Jack Ryan. Anything with the Jack Ryan stuff.
Jack Ryan would have been perfect.
Because Jack Ryan, you can make that your bond, and you had Tom Clancy to yourself.
There it is.
And you ain't even have to worry about, because the estate was cool with you, so you ain't even have to worry about like the stuff that Bond series has to deal with like going through MGM, Amazon, go through somebody else, and you ain't got to go through all that.
If you just look at the list of Tom Clancy novels, there's no limit to whatever type of gameplay stuff that you're prototyping or whatever. That could always end up being a Tom Clancy property if you want to. So like if it came down to it, you got immediate name recognition, you got a good title you can throw out there, and you're immediately going to get some type of user response day one.
Yep. That is true.
So I don't know what happened with that, other than the fact that they overspent probably on the Division. I'm guessing at this point.
Oh yeah,
more than likely.
That's probably what killed the Tom Clancy name for them. But
because I don't think they was making money like that, especially off the. Because I think the reason why they did the second one is kind of like the same thing with Destiny. Remember, Destiny wasn't supposed to have a 2.
Yep.
It was also supposed to have been
online.
The first one and online, but they just didn't get it. And then that's when they made an actual story for the second one. That's why they made it 2 instead of doing what they should do in the first one. But
you know what? I just for Destiny, I just completed my own fanfic and just went from there. I'm done because it's never going to be complete. Bungie has been split in half. Like it's not. I'll just go back and play Oni all over again, and I'll play Myth, and then I'll do my own thing. I'll figure it out. The Rampant AI series, I'll just do that myself. They're not gonna finish it.
Yeah,
So
No.
they're not. They're not. All right, peeps. It's coming to that time. Thank you, everybody in the chat. We appreciate you for coming through and hanging out with your boys. Shadow, anything you want to pimp out?
No, somebody mentioned Devil's Third in the chat. I wish I had bought
Yeah,
that game because
me
it's
too.
probably $5 million right now. But other than that, the channel is gonna be live soon, so pay attention. I'm gonna put some stuff up, probably in a series that you'll see first, and then I'll start talking about normal gaming stuff again, and it'll be back. So yeah, just look for that and go from there. Also support all these guys on the channel.
All right, Jack.
The only thing really is just, if you have the ability to go back and see what Ubisoft used to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of the games when you mentioned Tom Clancy, those were games at the time they released. Those games were a little bit too tactical for me at the time.
Yeah.
But now that I've gotten older, I can actually go back and enjoy those games. But one game that they let fly under the radar that is a top-notch game. Now, it stole a lot. You'll notice it if you play it. Immortal Phoenix Rising. They did a great job with that game. And that's another one to an early question we had earlier. If Ubisoft could take the time to do a Switch 2 version of Immortal Phoenix,
oh yeah,
on
that'd
point.
be good.
Because what killed that was Breath of Wild killed that. Breath of Wild killed that one, and it killed
it killed
Horizon.
and unfortunately,
the other game, Horizon.
Forbidden West, yeah,
Yeah.
because it launched around Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, like bro, yeah.
hey,
Don't come at the king.
The power.
And it's like Nintendo wasn't even trying. That's what's
They
so
wasn't
funny.
trying to do that.
It wasn't
It was not
intentional.
intentional at all. Like, but I think what messed that up too with Ubisoft was like they kind of tried to go at them a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
tried to be like, yeah. I'm like, bro, I don't think you should have did that.
They shouldn't have did that. Mario Rabbits, bro. That's you. You sit in your corner, Mario Rabbits.
Yeah.
That's your closest you're gonna get to coming at us.
Yeah. So it is what it is. Anything else?
Nah, man, everything else is good. Like Shadow said, support everybody here. Also support everybody on the Sandstorm channel as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then also the superstar of the group, Vicky. So make sure you show your love before we get in trouble. But
yeah. For me, I do have a couple of I did do a live stream yesterday. These guys were on it. We did do I was supposed to have been doing Legends of the Fish. Couldn't get to the fish until after we got off. Was gonna play Soul Calibur. We have lost that.
Yeah,
but
that's my fault.
But we did rebound and was actually able to find out a lot of games are playable with the GameCube in the sub controller.
Mm-hmm.
So check that out. We just went through a bunch of games to see if they would actually play, and they did. So I think we did like pretty much the majority of beat 'em ups that we had.
That was my fault being lazy. I haven't installed this yet. I need to so I can have Wi-Fi 7 in here, but I haven't.
But yeah, check that out. I do have a couple boss battle vids with Dark Link from Ocarina of Time, as well as the Morpha fight from the Water Temple as well. So check that video out. And we will see you guys next Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So peace out, people.
peace
out.